Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have here an opinion poll coming from the United States of America regarding, as the poll says, Biden's presidency legitimacy, which is how many of the American adults think that Joe Biden is a legitimate president of the United States of America, due to the elections from a few years ago, 3 years ago, right? And the number of people in the United States of America who think that Biden is not the legitimate president of the United States of America, increased 7%. Let me go over this article coming from Sputnik using an American opinion poll, not a Russian opinion poll, obviously conducted by the Americans, not by the Russians. So it must be true. So Sputnik right here. This is from today, the 2nd of January 2024. Over 1/3 of Americans say Biden's 2022 election was not legitimate, poll says. Even if he was or not, the same guys would have been in charge. You think if Trump would have been in charge, the guys behind all this garbage, the whole circus, would let him do anything? The first presidency of Donald Trump showed that the power of a president, which is zero. Why? Think about this. You're a chief executive officer or a president or a supervisor in a business, and you tell a subordinate, you got to do this. And that one says, yes, sir, I will do it, but doesn't do it. What do? Well, you maybe fire that person and then hire someone else, or you give someone else the task, another subordinate, and the subordinate or the new hire will do the same. Yes, I will do it, sir. And then after about 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you realize he didn't move a finger. What would you do? The same thing over and over and over. So that is, you can bark how many orders you want, how many directives you want to give to these guys. If they work against you, they will not do shit. And you do it on your own, you can't. You can't. I'm talking about the presidency. So Trump said all kinds of things to his party, and when they could have acted, they didn't act. They acted against him, including his departments, FBI, CIA, the military. They all acted against him. He was saying do this, do this, do this. DOJ, especially Department of Justice. Oh my. So that's the way it works. So it doesn't really matter. But let's play the game, okay? A growing number of Americans, or more than 1/3 of U.S. adults, believe that U.S. President Joe Biden's was not legitimate. A new Washington Post University of Maryland poll revealed on Tuesday. While the majority of U.S. adults, 62%, still consider Biden's 2020 win legitimate. Did I say 2022 here? What did I say 2022? Right here, Americans say Biden's. Okay, so that's a mistake. I was like, it was not in 2022. So consider Biden's 2020 win legitimate. 36% have an opposite view on the matter. This represents a 7% increase compared with poll results for the same question in December 2021, when only 29% said Biden election win victory was not legitimate. The share of Republicans who consider Biden's election victory legitimate has shrunk from 39% 3 years ago to only 31% now. Meanwhile, the number of Democrats who think Biden was legitimately elected decreased from 94% to 91% according to the poll. At the same time, almost 2/3 of U.S. adults, or 63%, expressed confidence that there was no solid, now that's a key word, evidence of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election according to the survey. Solid. So weasel euphemistic term. So what does that mean, solid? More solid, less solid? Yeah, the poll also found that 50% of Americans believe that protesters who entered the U.S. Capitol during the January 6, 2021 riot were mostly violent. Good job, mass media, you did it. Good job. Moreover, 53% believe that former President Donald Trump bears either great deal, 37%, or good amount, 16%, of responsibility for the attack on the Capitol. The nationwide poll was conducted online and by phone on December 14th to December 18th, 2023 among 1,024 adults. On January 6, 2021, after Trump's election defeat, a mob of his protesters breached the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to halt Congress Electoral College vote count. Since the riot, charges have been filed against the more than 1,200 individuals for crimes related to the breach of the Capitol. Now, regarding this, when you're going to give me military and you're going to give me weapons, then I will say that was an insurrection. Until then, no. Read, my friends. Read and see what's an insurrection. Okay, they try to stop a vote. Okay, clear everybody out, and the next day they will hold the same vote, and they will do whatever they want. I mean, how idiotic. Do you think that stopping that vote, let's be, a little bit better than a tard. Stopping that vote at that particular time would have stopped, would overturn the election? No. They would have done it the next day, or the next day, the next day. Do you think those guys would have gathered over there again and again and again? Not impossible, but next time they would have been received with these guys. This time they were not, because that's how the system works. Like, if you remember, was the no, it was not the Kristallnacht. Yeah, I think it was. No, it was not. It was after the Reichstag. There were a lot of orders to stand down. And what happened? Nevertheless, I'm not going to go into that one right now with these guys. But sometimes, like, for instance, attack on the Pearl Harbor. Some people say the Americans knew about the attack. Some people say they don't. But somehow the Americans decoded the Japanese messages. Again, let them do it, and then we can say, hey, we were attacked. We're going to fuck you up now. So again, with the Capitol, come on in. Yeah. I mean, not all the videos, that was the wrong videos that I watched. Yeah, there were some violent ones. But then the doors were open and people were walking in and out. The police were talking with the attackers. What was that? And then they postponed the National Guard or whatever to intervene for how many hours? Please, my friends. But anyway, it's not about that. It's about the supposed, 1/3 of Americans say Biden's election was not legitimate. One of the arguments is this. I don't have the evidence. I can't say, yeah, I know this. But first, voting with the method the Americans are voting, it's garbage. You put something in and that goes somewhere else, and then from somewhere else goes somewhere else. In between all those things, there's so many ways to just change from 51 to 57. Pick, that's it. And eventually it have to show up somewhere. That's the first one. The machines. No, put it in the paper. Paper ballot, not mail-in ballot. No, I disagree with that. In special situations, I would. And like a person is in the bed, or something like that. Yes, or a military is there. But the military is the same way. You just count them with a ballot, with a paper ballot, and then count. And again, the information you send it. Let's say you got the information on a let's say a aircraft carrier. You count all the votes. Let's say it's 51 for Biden, 49 for Trump, and you send it over there 60. You send a message 60 for Trump and 40 for Biden. That's the information you can count them, and then you send the wrong information. Please, my friends, that's the easy way. The other one is this, another logical argument. Have you watched this guy's campaign, or lack of, for Biden? Have you watched when Biden was coming in front of people, how many people were over there? How enthusiastic they were? It's like, and how many Trump? Now, why do I say that? Let's say you have two artists. Let's say you and I, and we sing. Okay, so we sing, and you're, let's say I get on top of the Billboard charts. My album is gonna be the best one, and you're gonna be second. When we go on the stadiums, when I make in a concert, nobody comes, like 3 people on the whole stadium, and I'm 3 people, and I go to the next stadium, again 5 people. When you go over there, you're gonna have full stadiums. Hey, you got the second place and I got the first place. In the Billboard, they say that my album, that nobody shows to see me, and nobody comes over there, but for you it's full stadium, but you got second place. They didn't buy your album, but they bought mine. So This is garbage. If you support a candidate, you show up to hear the guy talk. They didn't. They were in the cars and with circles around them, distance and so on. There's videos. Look at Trump's rallies versus this one. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely that these guys that don't show up at these guys is but show at the other one, they buy his thing. So they stay home, they buy his album, but they don't show up to see him. Is that how the fans work? Is that how the fans work? So let's say you got a garbage artist nowadays, I don't know, Taylor Swift, let's say, and she shows up over there. The stadium is full. Everybody is full. Now you tell me that these guys that buy her albums would not show up, none of them? Why would they show up? Because they like the singer. They want to see the singer, whatever she is. Anyway, why go by this? The quality of today's music is garbage, right? What we have is not music. It's just anyway, my friends, it's just a decline into like pointillism, and Dadaism. Not even that. Even those who are more creative than these guys. These guys are just from the 13-year-old understanding. They go to, I don't know, like 5. Fuck me, Freddy. Bring me some voices. Bring me some. And when I don't watch TV, but when I watching something else, I get to watch the current artists, and I see what's on the stage, on live stage. That is pole dancing. It's all sex. I like sex, but it's also I'm looking. These guys are degrading and this is our culture. This is the mainstream. I look at them and say, what the hell is that? All just to show as much. Not even sex is disgusting. What I see of it, it's disgusting. I'm an older person. I remember when my generation was younger, and my old people. That's so much. Yeah, that's where I'm right now. It seems like, but what we have right now, excuse me, that's not music. That's not art. That's just brothel, pole dance, whatever it is. And if you need to do that to attract people, and you're oh my God. Anyway, but this is the level of our sophisticated population. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.